Hi guys, how's it going? I'm Lorraine and welcome to my channel. Now just before I dive in there and pull your cards for today, I just like to say I am an experienced and professional, holistic and spiritual counselor and mentor, and I offer 100% money back guarantee for image readings, tarot readings, also the programs, as well as spiritual and holistic counselling and mentoring, plus advice to help you with union with self and union with your person, and also astrology charts. Just check out the details in the description box below this video for more information. So let's dive in there and let's see what messages the cards have for you, for both you and your person's love journey thus far. And also let's see what messages the cards have for you about your person. Okay, Leo, so let's dive in there and let's go. All right. Okay, so you were coming in here, guys, talking about, I was going to say, the Hermit card, and you were also coming in with the Magician here. Yes, the Hermit is Mercury here. Okay, so you're coming in with Virgo here in your reading. All right, which is your second house, which talks about material possessions here. All right. Now Mars is slowly moving out of your sign, Leo, and it's actually should be getting closer to the cusp between you and Virgo here. So what I get with these two cards is coming in as study. It's coming in as learning here, guys, taking that time to learn. This is both you and your person, taking that time to master. And it does come in as mastery here, guys. Learning to master your craft here in a sense. What it also talks about here, it comes in as your environment is who you are. This is both you and your person here. It also comes in as what you surround yourself, who you surround yourself with as well, here in your reading. Especially if you're coming in with the higher learning here, guys. That's what both those cards are talking about here, but it's associated to you as a person, to your, to your person as well. Their looks, their makeup here, guys, their physique. It's coming in that way. The appearance, your person's appearance here, your appearance has changed here. That's what I'm picking up in terms of this mastery. Because the Magician card, what it can talk about there in your reading is you, of course, social media platform here. And it comes in as for your person and even yourself here in terms of networking, in terms of new social groups here. It's actually coming in by way of, what would you call that? The internet, in a sense here, guys. Connecting to people that way. Yeah, of course, it can talk about that, connecting to people that way. But what it also is talking about here in your reading for, I was going to say for some, here it's actually about coming out now. It's actually about taking what you have, and because you've spent that time learning and understanding yourself a hell of a lot better. And what it comes in is, well, I'm ready to take this on the road in a sense here. I'm ready to actually be in front of people's eyeballs is what it's talking about here. No longer waiting for, or the past cycle has ended here, where it may have been about virtual here, guys, where everything that you did was online, is what it's saying here. Now, what it also talks about here for you and your person is that you're actually going out now. That's what it's saying. And you're being actual a part of certain social groups. Is what it's also talking about here, both you and your person, where you're actually in front of people's eyeballs here. Wow. There are some big changes that are going on as well for both you and your person. Some things you're stepping away from. Here, I get here in your reading, there are some social groups that you are letting go of here, and there are new social groups that you are wanting to be a part of here in your reading. Big changes. All right, that's what it's saying here. There is a lifestyle change happening here as well. That's what I'm also picking up. What it can also talk about here in your reading is that the differences with yourself, from your past self to the now, people can see it. People can see the differences here. All right, and it's coming in as really good here in your reading. And I do get here with the Magician card is that you're well aware of, it's coming in as attracting people's attention. But what it also talks about here in your reading, it's coming in as the way in which you speak here. The content here, the lines of communication, that's changing up here, guys. Oh, thank you. So let's keep going here. All right, guys. Okay, so you were coming in with the Moon card. You were coming in with the Knight of Wands, and you were also coming in with the Six of Pentacles here. So the Moon, it's moving soon, guys. The Moon. Here. Let me just have a look at these three cards, because it is coming in as an obstacle and a challenge here in your reading. With the Moon card and the Knight of Wands coming in your reading, what it talks about there, that's what's changing. And I spoke about here in your reading for both you and your person, it's coming in as your appearance. Here, guys, there's a change. There's a visible change here. Okay, it is being noted that there are certain changes that are happening here with the way in which you look, the way in which you communicate. Here, this is both you and your person when you're coming in with the Knight of Wands here. But what it also talks about here in your reading, it's coming in as not being so, well, flippant in a way here, guys. There is wanting to be true and take some really good actions. That's what I'm getting with the Knight of Wands and the Moon card. However, those actions have intentions. There is a hidden agenda here, guys. It comes in as saying here in your reading, it's been an obstacle and a challenge here for both you and your person to keep behaving the way that you are here, in terms of patterns and habits here, guys, and thinking that it's okay coming in with the Moon card here, because on an inner level here for both you and your person, you know that it's not what you're wanting. That's what it's also talking about here. Yeah. Now coming in with the Six of Pentacles here, what it talks about there in your reading is it's that casual approach that both you and your person have to this relationship or dynamic connection, because it's not casual. You don't want it to be casual, even though you're coming in with the Six of Pentacles. There's some kind of exchange that is happening here in your reading, but one of you actually wants this to be serious. That's what I'm also picking up here. Whereas the other person wants just to keep it a certain way. That's what it's saying. Because the Knight of Wands, I feel, can be seen as someone quite casual here. Yeah, they come in with a hiss and a roar here, guys, but it doesn't develop into serious for both you and your person. The actions aren't serious here. But what it can talk about there in your reading is following the actions of the other person here. It comes in as showing up to your person and then showing up to you here. Okay, guys, there is an equal exchange here in your reading, but what you want, but thinking that it's okay here, the way in which your guys' dynamic relationship is going here, guys. And see, with the Hermit card and the Magician card coming in here in your reading, and what it can talk about there is that it comes in as you do it to yourself. Your person does it to themselves here. All right, it comes in that way. Only you can change the dynamic here, the connection. All right. All right, let's keep going. All right, so you were coming in, well, potentially here in your readings, the Three of Swords, the Ace of Cups, and the Page of Pentacles here. And so what it talks about there in your reading with the Three of Swords and the Ace of Cups, exactly what I was talking about when it came to the Moon card and when it came to the Knight of Wands. These three cards over here are kind of explaining what those three cards, the potential outcome here is going to look like for yourself, because it's not really what you're wanting here. This is true and real love for your person and even yourself, coming in with the Ace of Cups, and that realization here, guys, or that awareness here in your reading is going to make you feel a little bit uncomfortable here, guys, because it means a lot here. So it's really about exploring your feelings and your understanding of what love is here, because it potentially here in your reading you do have the Page of Pentacles here, and so what it can talk about there is slowing it down here, guys, slowing that Knight of Wands movement down here, where you're going to just take a little bit of a step back. This is both you and your person, and try and rebuild, and with the Page of Pentacles, and rebuild the connection again here, but this time making it a lot stronger. And it also talks about, by making it a lot stronger here in your reading, is actually getting to know your person, actually getting to know each other, to be quite honest, Leo here. That's what it's also talking about here in your reading. See, I get here in your reading, Leo, is that these feelings are actually quite deep and intense for your person, well, for the both of you. And to let this go isn't something that both you and your person are willing to deal with. But what it also talks about here in your reading, so how do I take it to that next level here? How do I take it out of just being casual here? So book an image reading, tarot reading with me, as I'm not just a tarot reader, yeah. If you want to know the difference between the two, just check out the details in the description box below. Alright guys, and or alternatively check out the New Earth Community website. Yeah, it's the fear to love, and it's the fear to miss out on love. That's what it's also talking about here with the Three of Swords and the Ace of Cups here in your reading. Let me just pull an advice card. It talks about, so how do I take it out of that friendship zone? That's what it's saying. Okay, so you're coming in with the Nine of Wands here in your reading. And so what it's talking about there, guys, it's coming in as here in your reading. I spoke about wanting to step out now and to be that better version of yourself and want to make better choices is what it talks about. And of course, the better choices doesn't purely focus on making better partnerships or intimate partners here, Leo. What it's saying here in your reading is, if you were wanting to make these solid changes between both you and your person, then you have to stick at those solid changes here. That's what it's talking about. If you're going to say this is how it needs to be, and well, what it talks about there, it's really about the small steps that both you and your person are going to take, coming in with the Page of Pentacles, because in a way that is coming in as something positive here, guys, because from there things can grow here in your reading. I do get here, there is a sense of, yeah, but how are these things going to grow? What is it that I need to do here? Because for both you and your person, you don't want to miss out. That's what it's saying. Miss out on exploring and experiencing this true and real, this Ace of Cups that is coming in here. And so what it also talks about here with the Nine of Wands, it's saying here in your reading, well, for both you and your person, the choice here is how you come across towards each other. That's what it's talking about here. And that consistency. All right, guys? Yeah. All right. I am going to leave it there. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for your reading, Leo. And I'll catch you later. Bye.